Have you ever found yourself opting for brown rice at fancy restaurants, even if it came at a premium? In fact, in the healthy food world, there seems to exist a brown tax. Because hey, anything brown, brown rice, brown bread, brown eggs, must be healthier than its white counterpart, right? And hence, you should be willing to pay more for it, right? Also, do you find yourself considering quinoa, this cool new imported grain, as a replacement for rice altogether? And all this for what? To reduce carb intake, to reduce calories, to reduce weight? But are any of these any better than the other? Will they actually help you achieve your health goals? I'll help you make this decision in today's video of the Whole Truth Academy. If you like our content, don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel. We are a young brand and we spend most of our marketing budgets in making this content and keeping it free. And your love is what keeps us going. Okay, back to rice. And forgive me, but to set the basics right, I need to take a quick detour to 8th grade science. If you recall, rice is a cereal grain. And like any other cereal, it has 4 parts: a husk, a bran, an endosperm, and an embryo. And while quinoa is generally grouped in grains, it's actually a seed that's harvested from a tall leafy plant that's not a cereal grass. It's actually a relative of spinach, beets, and chard. So quinoa is technically classified as a pseudo-cereal grain along with amaranth and buckwheat. Now that you know the basic structure and difference, let's compare white rice, brown rice, and quinoa on 3 parameters. 1. Calories and macronutrients. 2. Refinement process and hence micronutrients. And 3. Glycemic index or GI. First up, calories and carbs. Since most folks would be debating these options from a weight loss lens, let's talk about calories and carbs first. Here is a comparison of all these 3. Interesting. So brown and white rice have similar calories and quinoa actually has slightly more. But wait, it also has the least carbs. What gives? Well, let's complete the table. So while quinoa has lesser carbs, it has more fiber, more protein, and more fats. And since fats have 9 calories per gram, quinoa has more calories. So what would you say is the better option? My answer is that all of them are primarily carbs and all have roughly similar calories too. What you should be comparing is how balanced a macronutritional profile they have. And on that, quinoa is the clear winner on your screens right now. Next, let's talk refinement process and micronutrients. Remember this rice grain diagram we showed you earlier? Once the rice grain is cultivated, irrespective of white or brown, the outer layer or the hulk is removed since it's really tough and cannot be consumed. And under the hull, we have the bran, which really is the powerhouse of nutrients. It contains tons of fiber, several vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. In whole grain rice like brown, red, and black, this bran is left untouched. In white rice, the bran is removed, aka the nutrition is removed. Why? Allow me to introduce phytic acid. Phytic acid is an acid that makes it hard for you to absorb the nutrients in the rice. That's the justification that's used to remove the bran itself. And if all the nutrition goes away with it, then so be it. Such a bad idea, because the effects of phytic acid can be dramatically reduced by soaking, sprouting, or fermenting the rice. And the pros of consuming the bran far outweigh the cons. So yeah, after our revelation around brown eggs and brown bread only being a marketing gimmick, I'm actually quite thrilled to say that for the first time, and maybe the only time, brown rice is actually more wholesome than white rice. But it has nothing to do with the color. Red rice and black rice also have the bran intact, and the color is only owing to the pigment present in the grain. And quinoa too is completely unprocessed and hence has all ingredients intact. So remember, the focus here is the bran, not the color brown. And the list of nutrients in the bran is immense. There's vitamin B, iron, zinc, and brown rice also has high levels of selenium, which helps with our thyroid function and hence increases metabolism. Quinoa has even more micronutrients, but a word of caution here. Quinoa is expensive because it's native to South America and because the Western world has been going crazy about it, which means demand has been driven up and so have prices. So, while it's nutritionally great, it's not a native Indian crop and it's not necessary to break the bank for it. Make the shift to brown rice and if you can afford it, to quinoa. Both are much better than white. Oh, and if you're not convinced yet, let's discuss glycemic index. Now, if you remember from our previous video on GI, it's a measure of how easily and how much a particular food will spike your blood glucose. The simpler the carb, the easier it is to break it down, the faster the glucose release, the higher the GI. The average GI for white rice is 64, for brown rice is 55, and for quinoa it's 53. I rest my case. So, in summary, 1. Calories and carbs aren't absolute indicators of healthy foods. You should be looking at overall macronutrient balance and density. 2. The more refined, the less nutritious food becomes. So go for unrefined. 3. Brown doesn't mean unrefined. Bran does. And 4. Simple carbs have high GI. You want complex carbs and white rice isn't that. Finally, if you love white rice too much, don't ditch it in one go completely. You'll feel the separation and chances are you'll go back. Just avoid eating it every day and start coupling it with greens and protein-rich foods to balance your meals. And slowly phase it out for the brown version. And if you like this video, do hit like, share and subscribe. We're a small startup that loves to bring good content to you for free, and our community means a whole lot to us. And oh, if you have any video suggestions or questions, do drop them in the comments below. Happy clean eating and ciao for now.